Deep below the concrete foundation of Tokyo, a silent mechanical shield stands ready to fight extreme natural disasters. This is the GCAN system, a $2 billion engineering fortress built entirely within the subterranean geological layers. To comprehend its scale, we must analyze the structural mechanics of 5 massive cylindrical containment silos. Each concrete silo descends 65 meters into the earth, deep enough to house a space shuttle hull. These shafts are designed to intercept torrential floodwaters from 5 major overflowing river basins outside Saitama. The primary connection between these chambers is a massive, 6.3-kilometer-long underground transfer tunnel. With an internal diameter of 10 meters, this tunnel acts as a high-speed highway for massive water masses. At the terminal end of this subterranean highway lies the colossal surge chamber, known as the Temple. This vast pressure-adjusting reservoir measures 177 meters in length and 18 meters in height. Supporting this massive underground ceiling are 59 gargantuan reinforced concrete pillars, each weighing 500 tons. The pillars are engineered with specific hydrodynamic angles to break the destructive kinetic energy of incoming waves. Before the water can reach the river, it must pass through the high-pressure intake gates. Inside this chamber, heavy steel sluice gates control the flow velocity with extreme mechanical precision. Every single movement of these massive gates is monitored by thousands of real-time pressure sensors. Now, the true engineering marvel lies within the propulsion power of the main turbine pump system. These pumps do not rely on standard electrical grids. They require direct, high-capacity mechanical energy transmission. Each of the 4 massive pumps is driven by a modified gas turbine engine of military aircraft design. By repurposing these aviation power plants, engineers achieved an unprecedented output of 14,000 horsepower per unit. A complex network of heavy-duty reduction gearboxes translates high-speed turbine rotation into massive torque forces. This massive torque is what rotates the heavy steel impellers, each measuring 3.7 meters across. When the engines ignite, the sheer mechanical vibration is absorbed by deep elastomeric foundation dampening pads. Without these heavy dampening systems, the intense harmonic resonance would fracture the surrounding subterranean bedrock. To keep these aviation engines cool deep underground, a continuous high-volume water cooling circuit is required. This cooling water is drawn directly from separate, purified underground reservoirs through thick stainless steel pipes.
The scale of this operation is staggering. This chamber alone can absorb the energy of a massive water fluctuation.
The scale of the piping network alone resembles a major chemical manufacturing facility rather than a drainage plant. High-pressure fuel lines, marked with yellow safety tape, feed aviation-grade kerosene directly to the turbines. These massive fuel storage tanks are secured behind thick, explosion-proof concrete walls in an adjacent bunker. A fully automated fire suppression system stands ready, monitoring air quality with highly sensitive optical sensors. Every single mechanical subsystem is redundant, ensuring operational survival even during a complete regional grid failure. Let us examine the precise hydrodynamic sequence when a major typhoon first impacts the metropolitan area of Tokyo. As the rainfall rate exceeds structural drainage limits, localized river channels begin to rise at critical speeds. The first river to overflow is bypassed directly through an automated sluice gate situated at the first silo. The physical torrent plunges 65 meters downward, crashing violently against the thick basalt-lined bottom of the shaft. This vertical drop releases immense kinetic energy, which must be safely dissipated to prevent concrete structural fatigue. The water level inside the first silo is continuously measured by redundant high-frequency radar-level transmitters. Once the water reaches a depth of 15 meters, the main connection tunnel valves begin to open. These heavy cast-iron rotary valves are driven by dual hydraulic pistons designed for high-stress continuous cycles. As the valves open, the water enters the main 6.3-kilometer tunnel under immense pressure. The flow is driven entirely by gravitational potential energy, requiring zero electrical pumping force during transmission. The sheer mass of the water creates a powerful piston effect, compressing the air column inside the tunnel. To prevent catastrophic overpressure, massive vertical air relief shafts vent the compressed air back to the surface. The air venting process creates a deep, thundering acoustic resonance that can be felt in the bedrock. As the water column advances, it collects silt and heavy riverbed debris from the drainage basin. Managing this abrasive mixture of water and sand represents one of the greatest mechanical challenges of the system. If abrasive river silt enters the high-speed pump turbines, it will score the internal steel housing immediately. To combat this, the incoming water must undergo a passive geological separation process inside the main reservoir. As the tunnel widens into the massive surge chamber, the flow velocity drops by nearly 80%. This sudden reduction in velocity forces heavier sand particles to settle naturally onto the reinforced floor. The reservoir floor is designed with a slight dual-slope gradient to channel the settled silt toward collection sumps. These specialized sumps feature heavy-duty sludge pumps that continuously extract abrasive mud from the system. The extracted silt is routed through separate utility pipelines and safely deposited away from the main machinery. Despite passive settling, microscopic quartz particles still remain suspended in the fast-flowing water column. These ultrafine particles act like liquid sandpaper, threatening the structural integrity of the main turbine impellers. This is why the metallurgical composition of the impellers must exceed standard industrial hardness ratings. Each impeller blade is forged from a high-density nickel-aluminum-bronze alloy, designed to resist extreme micro-impacts. To monitor the wear rate, ultrasonic transducers are embedded directly within the thick metal stator casing. These sensors transmit real-time high-frequency sound waves to calculate the exact remaining thickness of each blade. Even a tiny microfracture under high centrifugal loads would cause catastrophic failure of the entire pumping block. Thus, the alignment of the massive rotor shaft must be maintained within a strict 5-micrometer tolerance. This microscopic alignment is critical to prevent dangerous structural imbalance at 3,000 revolutions per minute. The massive rotor shaft is suspended by active magnetic bearings that eliminate mechanical friction entirely. These magnetic bearings use electromagnetic coils to float the heavy steel shaft in mid-air. A dedicated digital controller monitors the shaft position 50,000 times per second using eddy current sensors. If any axial displacement is detected, the magnetic force is adjusted instantly to correct the error. As a safety backup, heavy-duty mechanical auxiliary bearings are installed to catch the shaft during emergencies. These emergency backup bearings are made of ultra-hard ceramic materials that can survive dry friction. The entire rotating assembly is enclosed in a thick, sound-insulating cast steel shroud to protect operators. High-decibel acoustic energy from the turbine can cause severe structural fatigue in nearby piping systems.
Standing next to the colossal steel shroud of the CX400 turbine, we can feel the power driving this facility's operations.
To absorb these extreme sound waves, the walls of the pump room are covered in acoustic panels. These metal panels feature micro-perforations, designed to trap and dissipate high-frequency sound energy safely. Now, let us examine the critical transition where the water enters the main pump inlet. The suction bell mouth is designed with a specific curved geometry to prevent turbulent vortex formation. If a vortex forms, air bubbles will enter the impeller, causing immediate localized pressure drops. These localized pressure drops create severe hydrodynamic instability, forcing the pump turbine into an unbalanced vibration cycle. To counteract this, specialized hydraulic bypass loops inject high-pressure water directly back into the suction throat. This re-injection process stabilizes the local velocity vectors, restoring a smooth laminar fluid intake profile. The water now enters the main impeller eye, where kinetic rotation translates directly into static pressure. The centrifugal force flings the water outward through the spiral volute casing at incredible speeds. This spiral casing is engineered with expanding dimensions to slow the water down and maximize pressure conversion. The transition from velocity head to pressure head is monitored by dual redundant piezoresistive pressure sensors. These solid-state sensors transmit raw voltage data to the main PLC cabinet via shielded Ethernet lines. If the discharge pressure drops below safety thresholds, the control system initiates a sequence of emergency shutoffs. These emergency closures are managed by massive, fast-acting hydraulic piston-driven gate valves at the discharge outlet. To close against a high-velocity water column, the valve pistons must exert over 300 metric tons of force. This extreme closing force is generated by dedicated high-pressure nitrogen gas-charged hydraulic accumulators. These heavy steel spheres store massive potential energy, ready to be released in less than half a second. To prevent a catastrophic water hammer effect during rapid closure, the valve speed is digitally regulated. The deceleration curve follows a precise multi-stage profile, slowing the final closure to dissipate pressure surges. Beside the active gate valves, massive mechanical swing check valves prevent instantaneous backflow from the river outlet. These check valves feature a heavy steel disc suspended on an internal overhead hinge pin assembly. As long as the pump discharge pressure is maintained, the steel disc is forced into the open position. If the flow stops, gravity and back pressure instantly swing the disc shut against the heavy bronze valve seat. The physical sealing surface of the valve seat is precision lapped to prevent even the smallest water leak. Any reverse leakage under high head pressure would erode the valve sealing faces through high-velocity jetting. The operational state of these critical valves is tracked by heavy-duty non-contact inductive proximity sensors. These sensors output digital signals directly to the localized remote terminal units located inside the pump hull. From these terminal units, the data travels along fiber optic rings directly to the central control room. This main command facility utilizes a high-availability SCADA system to supervise the entire subterranean water network. Dual redundant industrial servers process millions of data points per second to coordinate the 5 active silos. The software uses predictive hydraulic algorithms to anticipate river surge peaks based on real-time radar meteorology. This prediction allows the system to pre-drain the main tunnel before the peak floodwater volume arrives. The pre-draining sequence maximizes the available storage volume, buffer capacity, and hydrodynamic safety of the system. As the pre-draining cycle completes, the system readies itself for the massive incoming hydrodynamic surge. When the river telemetry systems detect the critical flood peak, the automated intake gates drop open instantly. Millions of gallons of roaring river water flood the concrete silos, cascading down the massive shaft walls. The 4 Boeing-derived gas turbine engines ignite simultaneously, roaring to life deep within their acoustic bunkers. 56,000 combined horsepower drives the nickel-bronze impellers, rotating them at maximum mechanical velocity. Massive centrifugal forces pull the mud-laden water out of the surge reservoir, forcing it up the vertical discharge shafts. The immense flow is pushed through the heavy-duty swing check valves, rushing towards the Etagawa River outlet. At the surface, 200 tons of water per second shoot out from the massive concrete discharge portal. The furious torrent hits the stepped concrete stilling basin, instantly breaking its destructive kinetic energy into white foam. The dissipated water then flows smoothly into the river channel, completely bypassing Tokyo's vulnerable urban drainage networks.
This central command room is the nerve center of the entire operation. As you can see on the monitors behind me, every parameter is monitored in real time.
Back in the central control facility, the real-time SCADA monitors show the river levels dropping back to normal. The automated shutdown sequence begins, slowly slowing the massive gas turbines to prevent thermal shock stresses. The heavy steel sluice gates slide down, sealing the underground fortress until the next historic storm arrives. For more in-depth mechanical breakdowns of the world's greatest mega-projects, subscribe to MegaMass Studios today. Join our community of heavy engineering enthusiasts as we continue to unlock the secrets of industrial scale.